Okay, inkjet, we are the heart of inkjet presses are the heads, and these heads they tend to clog up with the dust which comes from the paper. And we have a very important personality from Spain, Mr. Edgar Llop, and he's an expert in helping these print heads to be cleaned offline with their solutions, right? So we thought it's extremely important for us to have him in our session and listen to him. And since we have lesser time, I would request him to go a bit fast. Yeah. Welcome, Mr. Edgar Loeb.
Thank you all. I'll try to speed it up, I promise. But I have a lot of content that I'd like to share with you. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm really honored of being here. And I have to thank the organization for inviting me and also for the amazing event. And I'd like to start recalling how yesterday Nakashima-san from the Vice President for Tonica Minolta was saying that one of the four main challenges that printing is facing and is going to face for the next 10 years is sustainability concerns, or he said environmental concerns. And he also pointed out, especially in Europe, and I got like, yeah, you're right, how you know that? And he said that it is spreading. And I'm also glad to see that I found that you are also really concerned. It was AJ from Penguin Random House that was saying it amazed me the fact that 80% of the customers were concerned about sustainability too. And that's good, because that will make sense with my presentation. So, in the last few decades, sustainability has become a major issue, and it's driving the way that our societies are kind of evolving. And that, of course, includes industry and also includes market approach strategies that we have to develop in our businesses. So I'd like to point three main aspects that are important to me from the climate emergency, and that would be the climate change is a global challenge, so that is affecting all of us and is affecting us as individuals, affecting our families and the way that we are living and we behave. Also, the resource scarcity that sustainable issues bring is causing is forcing industry to become more efficient and to adopt sustainable practices in order to ensure long-term viability. And the last point I'd like to highlight is that there's an increasing demand from consumers for environmental responsibility. This comes straight from us asking, as a society, as consumers, asking industry to be more environmentally responsible. So here is where we need to adapt our approach to these consumers, our marketing strategies towards getting that public. In that line of thought, brand names and industries that have strong sustainable practices have a better perception from customers. So customers perceive them better. That's an advantage, a competitive advantage. And through that enhanced perception, we can build bonds with the customers. Those feelings can lead to long-term loyalty. And who's not looking for long-term loyalty on their customers? And all this sustainability sex appeal, it's even greater on younger generations. By younger generations, I mean millennials and Gen Z. Just for a quick reference, millennials they've had an analog childhood but a digital adulthood, and Gen Z are fully digital. So these people really rely on the information that they find online, that they find on their hands, that they see through media to make up their mind towards purchase decisions. So these are three of the main concerns they have when making that purchase decision. First would be waste reduction. We probably know the 3R model reduce, diffuse, well, whatever. This was theoretically stated in the 70s. Can we play just a little game? How many of you know about the 3R model as a sustainable line of thought? Good. What about the 4R model? Good, good. We have one. Are you already the winner? 2. Okay. 5R. Anyone? Okay, we're in the 90s. So we evolve it every decade. 2000, we have the 6R model. 2010, we climb up to 9R. And we're about 5 years into 2020, and we are already in the 13R model. So this is the kind of content that is shaping the minds of the future consumers. So we really need to be aware of this if we want our products, our processes, our industry to reach those markets, those millennials and Gen Z. They have also concerns about energy efficiency, and not just energy efficiency on devices they buy, but also the production process followed to produce goods, to produce whatever they're buying. So they will find information in the internet or wherever about our company, about our processes, and this is a key factor in their decision making when buying, choosing our products. In the same kind of thought, product longevity is important to them because objects or goods that last longer have a lower carbon footprint, and that's concerning to them. So let's throw some numbers in. 75% of the Gen Zs think that sustainable practices, sustainable purchases are more important than brand names. So this is the main reason why all those huge brands worldwide investing millions and millions of dollars building up their names and their brands are backing it up now with sustainable practices, showing how much they care about sustainability and how they are modifying their processes towards being more sustainable. And they are showing it. It's a competitive advantage again. 73% of millennials are willing to pay more for sustainable products. It was Amit from Teknova yesterday also saying that customers pay more for green. That was what he stated. So it reminded me so much to this part. So let's find out who these, I'm sorry I have to do this, okay? Who these groups of age are. So this is Gen Alpha. These are not dangerous yet. We can still tell them to go to the room, and that's about the problem they have. But Generation Z are already in their mid-20s. And some of the millennials are over their 40s. So there's a great purchasing power building up here. They're reaching decision-making positions in their companies. They have some budgets for investment. And so we need to be aware that this is, they will be the decision makers for the next decades. So when facing our markets, we need to be aware of what is important to them. On top of that, they are acting as influencers for the rest of society. So now we have all across society, all groups of age, asking or hoping, expecting all brands, all industries to become more sustainable. So now this is the big picture for society. It's asking for sustainability. So do you think industry is aware of this? Well, of course they are. And they've been aware for quite some time now, and they put up the plans. These are the 9 main printhead manufacturers along with their green policies. Those are public. You can consult them in their websites. And so these are the guys that are driving Inkjet. Because, as AJ said in the presentation, thank you, the printheads are the core for printing. A friend was explaining to me how it's literally little heart, little pump that is inside the printing devices. So if we simplify a printer or a print unit inside a press in blocks, it would look something like this. well, I was hoping that to look more like a printer that it does. But we will have an ink supply system. We will have a conveyor or some kind of conveyor substrate transport system, image processing, and printing data and managing. Then we have the electronic control boards for the printhead, and then the printhead array. It could be like the simplest would be just one printhead. CMYK would be 4, but there are some of these printing units that have hundreds of them. This part is the most important part in the printing unit. This part is cutting-edge technology built in there, and it's probably, usually, the most expensive part of all this. So to me, it does not make that much sense to use those cutting-edge pieces of technology as if they were consumables. So if when a printhead drops down the quality and is not acceptable to us, to our quality standards, how it's printing, and we replace it for a new one, it's just treating it like a consumable. And that's going to be costly. And that's one of the main barriers for digitalization across all sectors, especially in printing and book printing or in any sector that is adopting the technology. So what if there was an enabling technology that could allow us to make inkjet more sustainable or inkjet more affordable? So that's what the technology around printhead cleaning and printhead, restoring the quality of a printhead can do as a side technology inside the Inkjet ecosystem for printing. Let's see how. First, I need to go really fast over LCA, just in case if someone is not aware of what LCA is. It's just a method, a tool to evaluate the carbon footprint of any given product, process, or service. So it will break down the life cycle of any product into different phases and calculate the carbon footprint for each phase. Okay, this is not new. This came out in 2004, 2002, with the ISO 14000 family, which is the environmental ISO family, but is now gaining a lot of popularity because it's so useful now to evaluate the carbon footprint in order to be compliant with certain laws, especially in Europe. So, since I didn't know how to calculate this at all, I made this. I played, I had some fun with the artificial intelligence right now. So I asked, okay, which is the carbon footprint of a printhead? I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT was a little evasive, like, well, you know, there's a lot of things you have to take into account, it depends, so on, so on. I asked DeepSeek, and DeepSeek was right away throwing numbers. So I mint those values. I will be taking these values for reference. This may not be accurate, but it will let us see how we can drop down all these values just by printhead cleaning. Let's see why. So we have, for any printhead, we have the material phase in which we are gathering all the raw materials to build the printhead. In this case, it will be metals, it will be raw materials for plastics, for the chemicals, the gluing and the epoxies inside, for the electronics, everything. So everything is going to be gathered. There's going to be a certain amount of energy used for gathering. There'll be some wastes produced in this process, and that's equivalent to 15 kilograms of CO2. Okay, then we take those raw materials to our factories, to printhead factories. It will, again, use some resources, some electricity, some power. It will generate certain waste, and it's going to impact as 50 kilograms of CO2. This printhead is going to be sent, usually is an intercontinental flight to the customer, and that's another 6 kilograms of CO2, and it will have a life. In this life, there'll be some energy consumed. There'll be some ink spillage for cleaning purposes in the machinery, some calibration, some maintenance. That will be another 35 kilograms. And then when the quality drops down, it will be disposed. And we don't really, well, As far as I know, I don't know any company which is capable of recycling printheads. So this here is not going to be anymore a cycle, because we are not reusing any part of the old printhead into the new printhead, nor any energy. So this is the end of the life of a printhead. Usually go to a landfill. It's going to be incinerated. It's a tricky question, how we dispose of printheads. So this will be how the usage, the replacing of printheads will look like. I will have my 114 kilograms of CO2 from one printhead, and as soon as I have to replace it, I will put into play a new one, which will add up another 114. So when I replace it back, I keep on adding. Our proposal is, what if this technology was able to let the user, the printhead user, send this printhead to someone who could restore the quality, so that quality is acceptable again, to put it back into the process. We send it to the cleaning provider, and then we send it back, we put it in use. So we are using a printhead that is skipping the material phase, is skipping the production phase, and is, well, it will come, but is retaining that end of life. So we are reusing it. So the profile then will look like this. Even if the values are not accurate, this is the ratio between the two strategies. And we can take this even one step farther. If we give that user, that printhead user, the ability, the technology to clean the printheads themselves. So then we would be looping around the use phase for a certain number of times, skipping all those phases over and over again. Then the profile will look like something like that. So this is the real impact, sustainable impact on the environment, the reduction of the CO2 that cleaning printheads is bringing. So on top of how much sustainable Inkjet is versus the traditional printing, we are having this on Inkjet printing. So usually people would think, okay, how much is this going to cost? The fun part of cleaning the printhead is that it's not costly at all. Let's play with the numbers. Let's say any given company is replacing 100 printheads in a certain period of time. 100 is just for fun, just for it's a round number. But eventually, any company printing digital will replace 100 printheads. Either will be 10 years or 5 or 1, and some companies would do this just like about in a semester or so. So 100 printheads replaced at a given cost of $3,000, which is quite fun. There are some printheads, so printhead models would be 1,500, some printhead models would be 6,000. That would give a total of $300,000 expenses in replacing printheads. Let's take these same 100 printheads. In an outsourcing, cleaning outsourcing scenario in which these printheads are going to be sent for cleaning and then back to customer. First, I like to separate, there are some cases in which a printhead has to be replaced, but the reason is not the drop of quality. It could be a media strike, electronic failure, it could be loss of the sealing, it could be a certain amount of reasons. But these printheads are of no use, even if I could restore the quality of them. So these I will replace straight away, same price. For these 80 cleaning candidates, there's a certain probability that that quality can be restored back to an acceptable quality so we can get back to work. 70% is about fine. We can, well, it could be much better, but it's about fine. Let's say just 70%. That means that I'll have 56 printheads that I can put back into play, that I just need to pay the cost of cleaning. So that would reduce the price that much. For these 24, I will clean them, pay the cost of the cleaning. They will be of no use to me because the quality is not enough for my standards. So I will have to pay the cleaning and the new printhead to replace this one. Still, with all this is how much it would be the final cost. So there's an obvious reduction in the cost of the printheads. And I'm going to take that one more step further. If I have an in-house cleaning scenario in which the user has the technology to restore the quality, then the first line would be the same. This 20 printheads, no matter what, I'll have to replace them with new ones. And then the probability of cleaning, it increases a lot because we have the printing unit and we have the cleaning station, and it's just about ready to clean. I have the people in house. There's no fries. There are so many expenses that are not there. Then this 80% will give me 64 printheads that I can put back into play. Another 16, well, here the cost is much lower because it's in-house. So then I will, for the other 16, have that cleaning cost and the new printhead too. And this is how much we can reduce the cost of the most expensive and the most technological part of the printing unit of a press, along with all the reduction. Well, I think I have, okay, yeah. We'll see all the scenarios together. This is the basic scenario in which no cleaning is happening. We're just replacing the printheads. So there's no reduction in the carbon footprint, and the cost is the reference cost. Okay, first scenario, outsourcing. I'm sending my printheads for someone to clean, restore the quality back, and send them back. In this case, I'm acting as a palliative maintenance. I had to take that printhead out. I had to, because it was of no more use, and I had to get it corrected. Then we will be saving 50% of the carbon footprint for those printheads replacing, and we will be saving 40% of the budget for new printheads. Scenario 2, which you own the technology and you have the knowledge of how to do this, then it would be 64% reduction of the carbon footprint and 60% savings on the budget for new printheads, along with the most powerful tool for me, the preventive maintenance. You can schedule when you're going to take those printheads out, even if they are still able to print, but they are decreasing the quality in the printing. You can take them out, you can clean them, get them to 100%. Those are really easy to clean. They can go back to the printer, and you will always have 100% quality in your printheads. So the overall quality of your product, it rises. And there's one last scenario in which you can use that technology, or that technology can be used as a business unit itself, just gathering printheads from anyone who's needing to restore the quality, cleaning them, and sending them back. This is, as we see, the market trend. So most of the market is on the phase 0, the stage 0. Some industries and some customers are already in the market stage 1, where they are using any cleaning service to restore the quality of the printheads. Just a few are owning and controlling this technology so that they can use it in-house for their own benefit. And just a handful of companies are able right now in the world to clean the printheads. But it's slowly shifting one after the other. So as an enabling technology for general printing and book printing, this is the view that we expect to happen in the next 5 years, because it's also aligned with all the views, all the previous speakers also talked about sustainability, about reducing cost, about embracing the inkjet technology, and about how it needs to rise up to at least 50% in the next 5 years. So, expanding the lifespan of a printhead is got a lot of benefits, but main would be the resource conservation, because we are not gathering those first part or gathering the resources. We're skipping that. The energy savings in the manufacturing side, energy savings and in the usage. There's less waste reduction because we are not sending that big amount, crazy amount of printheads to the wastelands or to the incinerators, which is also highly not sustainable. And there's an obvious cost efficiency. It's a much faster return on the investment on the machinery and also less costs, operational costs. But there's a bonus feature, is that the cleaning process can gather a lot of data, can tell you what is happening in your printing. So when cleaning, there's a lot, it's like taking care of someone who is sick. So you can gather a lot of information to prevent what happened to that person. So usually cleaning you can get a lot, much data, like a random model, the time that is being used, which ink has been using, how many jobs is done, anything that you can parameterize in your process, you can gather. Those single data will cluster. So you get data sets into clusters, and those clusters, they will show patterns of your process. This comes just that by looking at that Excel, you can tell. But if you make it just a bit deeper and use any simple in artificial intelligence, they will tell you what is happening with your printheads and how to solve it. This only happens if there's an structured way of cleaning the printheads. So usually I don't know any company that has got it in-house, but the cleaning companies can do this for you if you send the printheads to them and they gather that information and hit you back with the reports. Well, that's that standard cleaning process and how we can gather information at the different points. So just as a conclusion, the main benefits of printhead cleaning would be an enhanced brand reputation, as we are effectively cutting the carbon footprint and skipping that greenwashing, because it's real action towards sustainability. And there's a much faster return on the investment that will help other markets to come into digitalization. So I really want to thank the organization for having us the opportunity to share with you our thoughts on this enabling technology. Thank you.
That was really, really insightful, let me tell you. I really loved it. So may I